Hi, I'm Glenn from the Dangle podcast, and today we're going to be talking about how to make F1 better. So thanks for watching, and hit the like and subscribe. So hi boys, Angles,
and everyone.
Hopefully we get some sort of female viewership, like besides our mothers and wives. But
I know my sister will be watching.
Welcome back. This week we'll be talking about how to make F1 better, how to make the sport that we love just more exciting. We don't want as much as one of us is a Max Verstappen fan, we don't want, or a Lewis Hamilton fan, we don't want any of them to run away with a title.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind.
I'll take an 8th run away, to be honest. I'll take an 8th run away. But on a Sunday, we want to spend our Sunday afternoons watching great, close, competitive racing.
Wheel to wheel, wheel banging against wheel racing. That's what we want to see. And it doesn't matter where, anywhere along the grid.
Absolutely.
The back, in the front, in the middle, anyway.
Absolutely.
So we've discussed, and we've been watching Formula One for a long time, not just the last few seasons. I had a sort of a stint a long time ago, and I didn't watch for a while, but now I watch again. Glenn's watched for pretty much his whole life. So we've just been talking about some things that we think Formula One could do to make racing and quali and just the whole experience a bit better. So let us know if you have any other suggestions about what you think could happen. Because talking to people, everyone has an idea. So
these are just a couple of ways. Dan's got 2 or 3, I've got 2 or 3. We would just want to basically
sort of throw them out,
like dream a bit.
Let's dream. Let's dream. You dream. We dream. Everyone dream about how we can make. I mean, it's already an amazing sport, but there's always room for improvement, right?
Absolutely.
So let's see what we.
And just a reminder, guys, the reason why we're doing this is to meet Karun.
So
the GOAT Karun. We need to meet you. Please just comment Karun.
Tag him. Can you tag someone in?
You
can tag someone on YouTube. I don't know how YouTube works. I'm so old. So I don't know if you can.
Hilarious.
I don't know if you can tag someone.
Okay, but please, guys, like and subscribe. We want to go on a journey to meet Karun. Wherever it may take us, whether it's towards football, whether it's towards F1, whether it's to multiple breweries just drinking beers as friends. Whatever will get us closer, we need to do that.
Or to his 40th birthday.
Or to his 40th birthday on the 19th of January next year. Please, we need to get to Karun.
Okay, so
go for it.
I'm going to start.
How can we make F1 better?
And I've actually put some real thought into this. So my suggestion
as opposed to me just...
you've sucked it out of your thumb. So my thing is, I think that if I've been watching the last few years, one of the things that stands out to me is that 2-stop races are just more exciting. There's more jeopardy.
Always.
There's more stuff that can happen. There's multiple strategies that can now take place because there are 2 stops.
If you're Ferrari, you turn a 2-stop into a 4-stop.
Or
whatever goes.
However many stops you need.
you do what you do.
And the other thing that makes 2-stopping interesting is that teammates can be on different strategies. And one of the things that 2-stops are normally high dig tracks, so it's not often in the season where that happens. And my suggestion is simply you force teams to use all 3 compounds in the race.
Hard, soft, medium, whatever it be, C5, C4,
and
C3,
that immediately ensures 2 stops because you start on say soft, you fly for the first, but then you're on softs, but you're on 100 kilograms of fuel tanks, Martin Brundle, and then you nail the tires, then you go into mediums, then you have to stop again for hards, or you start on hards, you go long at the beginning, and then when the car's lighter, you throw on softs and you fly in the middle part of the race, or you put on
other
softs
people are maybe on hards.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's just going to, for me, it's just going to bring, it's because of the strategy, slower cars will be up and amongst faster cars because of the fact that they can run these alternate, different, crazy strategies. And I just think it'll make the racing more exciting. And
100%.
Half the fun of watching Formula One is to think who's going to stop when.
And it's one rule change, eh? There's one rule change that'll make all the difference.
And
that's actually that's a very possible.
It's easy to implement because they have all the tires.
And it's not a dream. That could be a reality. In
the other thing is that what teams do is in practice in FP1, 2, and 3, they quickly figure out which tire isn't firing up and not working. So then they just don't use that tire in the race if it's a 1-stopper. So then they will use, say, the medium or the hard if the soft's not working, which often is the case because the soft is a soft tire. So I think you go all 3. So that sort of ties into what you were going to say, is that you have to make it. So your one is slightly different. Your first rule suggestion change.
No, I was. We were on the same page when we discussed that. Like it's either going to be you must force a 2-stop. You have to have 2 pit stops, but the 3
your one
tires
is different because if you do a forced 2-stop, you could go medium, hard. Like you don't you know what I mean. You could go 2 mediums and a hard. But still, I think that's also maybe start with 2 stops forced.
And
then you go from there you go, maybe if it works, then make it even more gently by going, okay,
What about
2
the
stops.
idea of
but-
having no stops?
so you don't have to stop.
Yeah. I mean, we're going on 2 extremes here. You have to use all 3, or you can only
I
use
don't know
one.
if that would work. I mean, it would work in the sense that they would get to the end. Well, would they even get to the end of the race on one set of tires? I don't know. They'd have to drive so
Those
slow
tires
at the
would be good
beginning.
on hards.
Yeah. After
Okay,
10
no,
laps,
but
you
that
tell
makes
Bono that
sense
his
then.
tires are dead, and then you've got
Yeah,
16
purple,
fastest
purple.
laps.
Okay, yeah, my
Okay, so that's my first one.
my first point. Yeah, my first point is quite an easy change. Also, would be to have DRS open from the get go. Lights out.
And away we go.
Flaps open, boys. Flaps open. And I don't mean that in a sexual way.
Yeah.
I mean that in
Just
like from lap 1, the first
from
DRS
the moment
zone.
the cars move.
No, maybe not on the main straight.
Because
but
they're just
at the
immediately
next
going to have all 20 cars. They're going to get to the grid and immediately open the flap.
Yeah.
You're just going to have wheels spinning on the back because there's no downforce.
No, that's not
Just
not
a puff of smoke, and then all of a sudden 20 cars fly out of the smoke. It's
wacky races. No. But
So like,
DRS from
like
the first
from
lap.
like from the first time they get to the first DRS zone, they can have it open.
So
Like what we were saying.
just think back to, I go back to that disastrous season of 2021. But if I go back to Lewis and Max,
Okay.
2021 Silverstone.
Yeah.
For 2 laps, we had the best racing that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Just imagine if they had DRS as well.
Yeah.
We were just constantly having overtakes.
Because then Lewis would have been behind Max, then he would have got DRS.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It just would have. So from the get go, DRS needs to be open.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
I hear Martin Brundle often saying, he's like, okay, we're racing again.
Yeah,
but
open
when
them-
DRS,
when they're
open
going from
DRS.
wet to dry.
Just open DRS straight away.
Yeah.
The drivers need to be, so they're like, oh, the safety of the driver, yes. But
Yeah.
the whole thing with watching the sport is these are like the best drivers in the world, right? So
Yeah.
so if they don't have to use DRS, if they're feeling unsafe, then
Don't.
if the guy who's more brave puts DRS on and gets past you, well,
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
amazing.
to be fair, these are the 20 best drivers in the world. They're all
They're all going to flip
Madmen.
press. They're all going to
Madmen,
press DRS.
madmen.
In
Okay,
case
go
of
for
Max
it.
case, it's
Give me
50
another
times.
one. It's
Okay.
not working. It's not working.
Okay, so here's my next one.
Go for it.
So I think a way to make quali a bit more exciting is, okay, we go Q1, stock standard. We don't change it. The bottom 5 cars who are going to be in the bottom 5 anyway are out.
Williams.
So
pass.
yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe flipping,
Ooh, yeah.
maybe
See the
McLaren
shape.
in there at this stage.
Yeah.
Then we go Q2, stock standard. We lose the next 5 cars, right? So everything's normal, no change.
Yeah.
Okay, now we get into Q1. So now you have the top 10
Q3.
cars. Q3. Sorry, I always get them. Q3. So now what happens now at the moment is they go out for their first runs, they come back in, they put on fresh softs, and then, or if they have a fresh set, and then they go and they do their second fast run, okay?
Yeah.
And
So there's two main fast laps in the 10 minutes.
but that's amazing. That's really great.
Yeah.
But then what happens is the car that goes out first for their second fast run, we watch that live.
Yeah.
And then we only get like the last corner of, let's say if Max and Lewis were the second and last driver.
Yeah.
You only see their their last corner, and then you see them coming down the straight, and you see their time.
Yeah.
So then later on the hopefully we have KARUN on the sky pad showing us the lap.
Yeah.
But I want to see the live lap.
Yeah.
So my suggestion is you go through into Q3 and you go and everyone gets their first run.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no restriction.
Timed.
It's a 5 minute, half
Yeah.
of Q, it's 5 minutes. And you
Yeah.
go and you set your, okay. So then your position after Q1
Yeah.
is, that's the position in which you go out in your second run of Q3, but alone, right? So
Okay.
I qualified, my first run on Q3 was 10th. I go
Okay.
out first to set.
So it's a reverse.
Yeah,
A reverse.
so I
grid.
go out first alone.
Okay.
Then 9th goes out and tries to set a faster lap, and 8th and 7th, so we
Okay.
go down.
So you could have 9th bumping up into say second,
Yes.
and then by the time everybody's gone, he's back down to
Yes.
9th, or he could have just set a flyer and
Exactly, but then the advantage is for me, you get to see each lap because there's
Viewership
only one car.
wise, viewership
So we
wise,
can
yeah.
get to be on board or whatever. You actually watch the lap.
Mm.
You obviously get to see the timing and then see where they
Yeah.
rank, and then the drivers. It also incentivizes the drivers in the first run of Q3 to
Yeah.
go, because obviously the later you're on the track, the more rubber has been put down by other
Yeah.
cars. So if you're going second or first,
Yeah.
you've got a grippier track. So it's
Yeah.
going to incentivize drivers to push more.
It could. I mean, just imagine it like a rain weekend.
Yeah. And then it incentivizes the first run like at Brazil, because
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
get a decent first run and it rains, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're alone and
Yeah,
you're,
yeah.
you're going first.
Fair enough. Fair
You
enough.
said a good,
Yeah. Okay, I
So
like
that's
that.
my,
I like that a lot.
That's
that
not
could
for the
work.
race, that's more for quality.
But I mean, Sky, get on that, guys, because I mean, viewership.
Sky don't make the rules, eh?
No, fair enough.
KARUN doesn't make the rules.
No,
for
fair
FIA.
enough. FIA and what's his name that stepped away?
Yeah. Mohammed bin Sulaiman,
Yeah.
That's an interesting story. We'll have to do another episode.
We'll unpack him.
Yeah, we'll have to get to
He's
that.
a topic to himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's your other?
So I've got two more. My one would be, and this is a bit of a pipe dream, but I would love for us to have some sort of like safe refueling. So I mean, you see these horror like footages in the
we
past.
all understand why that was removed, right?
Yes,
Because we saw like cars and humans on fire.
Every time I think of refueling in Formula One, I picture it like a circus,
on fire?
a circus man like running around in flames.
Was it Rubens that had his car? Who was? Oh, it was Jos Verstappen.
Was it?
Who was on fire? Yeah, at a stage. I'm sure it was Jos Verstappen.
I mean, I know that. I understand that.
So it's
like
mad
fire
dangerous.
suits
So
and
we're not saying that we're refueling like a fuel
Get
line.
the lollipop out.
So what are you saying?
Like,
What are you?
So I'm saying some sort of like cartridge system where it extends your pit time.
Yeah.
So let's say
you have
about
to
5
remove the
seconds or
cartridge.
even 10 seconds, like changing a front wing. You have to remove a component to put a component in. But you could start, instead of Martin Brundle, 100 kilograms of fuel.
Bless you,
You could start a race at 30 kilograms of fuel and
fly.
Absolutely fly.
Yeah.
And then build up enough
And be on softs. And fly.
Exactly.
Do quali laps.
And then
or
come
10,
in
15 laps.
Exactly. Come in 15 laps. Put a massive tank on.
Yeah.
The same size tank.
The 70 because you have to have 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then see out the rest of the race. So in some sort of cartridge system of like a safe sealed system.
Yeah.
I always picture like a boat. Rob, remember Rob's in the background.
Yeah,
Rob,
in the
remember
back.
when we used to like on the back of the boat tap out the one fuel tank and then tap it in the next.
Yeah.
So
You're essentially replacing some sort of fuel compartment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's easily exchangeable, but at the same time it costs you a bit of time. There needs to be some sort of like risk reward.
It adds so much jeopardy and so much like now you have a guy or the reverse is true where you go on 60 70 kilos of fuel at the beginning on mediums, and then in the last 15 laps you 17th but you're on softs, you got 30 kilograms of fuel and you got just ring-a-ding-ding, you're flying around and then overtaking.
Makes it so much more possible. I mean, everything that we're discussing is for closer racing and
more
fun.
exciting racing.
But some sort of safe
way
refueling.
basically some way to just not always just stick the cars with 100 kilograms of fuel and then go around the track, and at the end of the lap and end of the race they're setting fastest laps because they have no fuel.
Exactly.
I like that.
And you have one more?
I've got another one.
Go for it.
Our timing is looking good, so we're happy to keep chatting. This is exciting. I'm actually loving this conversation.
Yeah, we can talk about this for hours, but we won't because you're going to lose interest. So.
Yeah. Also, if you hear kids in the background, this is we parents, so we have kids running around and. Okay, so my last one is on DRS. I think that I need to refine my idea a bit, but just hear me out. Okay, so the idea is that you limit the number of times a driver can use DRS.
Okay.
So for example, it's a 77 lap race, you get 77 DRS presses.
Yeah.
So you decide when to use it.
Regardless if there's 3 DRS zones.
Yes. And you can obviously still only, the normal DRS rules will apply within a second.
Yes.
But like maybe you don't need to use, like Max, let's say Max is overtaking back markers. And he doesn't need DRS. He doesn't need DRS, so now he saves it for later in the race, and now he's defending against maybe Charles or Lewis or George or Sergio. And now, he can use DRS.
Yeah, and he's got a couple of bankers.
Not necessarily, maybe even he doesn't have to be within a second, he just gets DRS.
Yeah.
Maybe he crosses the line and he gets to use his press.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
So to keep cars behind.
Okay.
So I'm being chased by someone and now he opens his DRS and I'm a sitting duck, but now I can press my DRS because I have banked a few. I've banked a few and I can use it.
It'd be cool if if you're a second behind but you don't use it, it gives you one.
Yes.
And then you can use a couple when you don't have.
And then the strategy of maybe a counter on the screen when they open the dash and you see the revs and then you see he's used 40 of 77 DRS uses. Yeah. So near the end of the race he's just going to DRS every time he hits the zone.
Every zone he gets to. Okay, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, my last thing is going back to the wounds of Abu Dhabi 2021.
Sure. Those wound runs. We do a Thierry Henry. We got those. They run so deep.
Yeah, they cut that cut me deep.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's.
They cut me in a different way.
they don't cut you at all. They
cut me in a different way.
Okay, fair enough. But I want to say that if there's a crash or an incident or a car gone off or whatever, instead of a VSC, a virtual safety car or a safety car, I think the idea of having an immediate red flag if you're within 5 laps to go to the end of the race, immediate red flag.
Okay.
So you have a stop, change tires, and then cars go out for the next 5 laps. Or
so
whatever
the
it is.
normal red flag rules apply, but is it so compulsory within the last 5 laps?
Within the last 5 laps,
to make
if
it
there's an
fairer,
incident where a car goes off, instead of a VS, nobody wants races ending at a VSC.
Not even the drivers want that.
No, exactly. So rather stop the race.
Yeah.
Get
Everyone goes and
back
puts
in
on
the
a set
pits,
of flipping softs and they're banging around for the last 5 laps.
Exactly.
Or the last 2 laps, whatever. Yeah.
It does make it unfair when you have guys that are like 10 seconds ahead with like 2 laps to go. But at the same time, that would have happened with the VSC anyway.
Everyone would have been together anyway.
And the poor sod could have been on like hard tires.
Yeah.
You know what I
agree. I think it's a good rule.
Last 5 laps, any sort of incident.
And even the last 10. Because you can run softs for 10 laps with almost no fuel left.
Why not? Yeah. But the idea is there that it's not up for debate.
Yeah.
Is this a virtual safety
car?
car?
Because then there's a lot of controversy. Because then is it a bad enough event for a red flag? Remember Ricciardo at Monza? Was it the Monza when he was parked on the side and then finished under a safety car?
Yeah.
And then they couldn't get a crane there, and then it was such a good race, and then the last 3 laps you're sitting there eating your popcorn, and then there's nothing to watch.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So just flip and red flag, box. Like everybody comes in, a set of softs, and we see some racing.
I like that a lot. This was genuinely, I'm surprised at the level of ideas we've come up with.
I mean, just like
because
that.
we're not messing around in this podcast.
Yeah.
We are serious about Formula 1.
This is serious stuff. Episode 1. Boom.
Yeah.
I
don't know if we're going to top this. If you're watching this,
like and subscribe now because it's about to go horribly downhill.
This is the best it's going to be. It's not going to get any better than this.
Expect this quality week in and week out.
Okay,
and we don't know if we're going to post week in. We just want to keep you wanting more. So But thanks very much for listening, guys. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
we hope you enjoyed that. And also, if you have ideas about what you think
how to make
happen,
F1 better,
we will have a channel, and then we will try and respond. I guess
we will have to make a channel.
Yeah, we have to make that still.
Yeah.
And then we want to find out about your ideas, because I know I asked Maxine on the way here. I said what is your idea about? And she also had this wonderful idea about Formula 1. So people have ideas about. She was like, no, her thing is one quali. I was sort of.
I see what you see.
Yeah.
I see what you see.
So lots of people have lots of ideas to make our sport better.
I think let us hear about it. Let us hear about it.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks very much, guys. See you next week.